Hey everybody, Melissa here, and I'm here with another quick clip. Today I'm going to show you how to make a loopy flower like these you see here. Felt works really good for this project, but I've also made these flowers from paper and from ribbon. This one here has been made from paper, and all the rest of these have been made from felt. Aren't they cute? Wait till you see how easy it is to make these. Holy cow. Okay, first you're going to start with a strip of felt, however long you'd like. A sheet of felt that you get at the craft store is usually about 12 inches long, and it's usually about 9 inches wide on the short end. So today I'm going to use this black and white damask patterned felt to make our flower, and I'm going to use the whole length. So I'm going to use the 12-inch length, the long edge of the sheet of felt. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and you're going to use some red liner tape on the back. As you can see here, I've already attached that to the back of the felt, and I haven't removed the backing from it yet because I just want to show you this part. What you're going to do is you're going to fold it. You're going to take the piece of felt and you're going to fold the edge in, and you're going to do that the whole length of the piece of felt. And it's about an inch. I just kind of eyeball it. And what you really want to do is make sure that you leave yourself enough space to cut into the felt, but not cut all the way through. So for instance, here's your folded edge here, and we're gonna cut it off here. I'll show you that in a minute. But you're going to cut into the folded edge, but you don't want to cut all the way through, because you need to leave this solid edge here, because this is what's going to hold the whole flower together. And you also need something to kind of hold on to while you're creating the flower. Okay, so eyeball about an inch. It's probably a little less than an inch. And if I show you the one that I already made, if you look at it, you can see where the fold was. Here's the fold. And if I kind of stand it up straight, you can see that's about an inch. It's probably a little less than an inch, so you get an idea. And like I said, I don't measure it, I just eyeball it. So now when you kind of know about how tall you want your flower to be, you can remove the backing from the red liner tape, which is not always the easiest thing to do. There we go, I think I got it. And then, like I said, you're just going to fold it and adhere it, and just try and keep it as straight as you can, so you don't have, one side really big and the other side really small. And just press it down. And if you don't have red liner tape, you can use fabric glue, or I've also found that this quick grab, or what's it called, fast grab tacky glue, works really well when I don't have red liner tape. So here we go. I put that together, and now all you're going to do is you're just going to trim up from from where your fold is. So let me move this back a little bit so you can see. So you can see this is how you're going to get your loop. You can see you made like a little tube with the felt. Okay. So now I'm just going to take scissors and I'm just going to trim along that edge that I folded it to. And again, I'm not being real careful here. I'm just following the edge that I created. I don't know how straight it is. It's okay. You don't need to be a perfectionist to do this. Okay, so sorry about that. Now that we are all the way through, okay. So this is what you have left. This is what I cut off from that whole sheet of felt. And like I said, it's about 12 inches long and probably about an inch tall. Now comes the fun part. What you're going to do is you're going to use the fringe scissors. Oh my gosh, do you guys have these? These are fantastic. And I find myself using them more and more often. So you can see that there's multiple blades on these scissors. I call them fringe scissors. I don't know if there's a special name for them. So watch when you open the scissors, you can see how they look. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so if you don't have these scissors, that's okay. Regular scissors will work, but this just kind of makes the job go a little bit quicker. All right, so starting from one edge of your felt, I'll start from this edge here. All you do is take your scissors and try to see if I can get a better view for you to see this. And take the scissors and you're just going to trim from the folded edge. This is the fold here, and this is where you put the adhesive, where you have your red liner or your glue. So you're going to cut in as far as you can, but just be careful because you don't want to cut all the way through. And so when I use these scissors and I cut, I need like both hands to actually cut it. So here, let me show it to you this way. All right, and here goes one. Okay, so there's one that I made, one cut. So you can see I made the little loops already. And I think one of my blades is getting dull, so there's probably a few that I'm going to have to come back through on and cut through a little bit more. I've been using these scissors so often lately. Okay, and so you just keep doing that down the whole fabric. Here, I'll do a couple more for you to show you. And you cut down, like I said, as far as you can, but it doesn't have to be very far. It can be like halfway down. That'll be fine. And here, I'll do it again here. And I'll do another one. Just trying to show you how that works. Okay, so you're just going to continue doing this all the way down the strip of the felt. So I have one here that I already did that to. Here it is. And so you can see how it's already starting to take shape. And this one I actually cut just using my regular scissors. I didn't even use my fringy scissors. I just used regular scissors. So you can see, when you use regular scissors, you're probably not going to get as uniform a cut because, you know, some might be a little larger and some might be a little smaller, but that's okay. That's not a big deal either. All right, so then all you do, as with most flowers these days, you pretty much just start rolling. So let's see, I'm going to start with this end here. Okay. And you can roll it tightly or not so tightly. The trick, though, is to try and keep it all even at the bottom. So let me show you. Get this going. It's kind of easy to just keep it on your table and just roll it. Okay, so see here, this is what I mean. You want to keep this all flat. Because what's going to tend to happen as you roll it is the middle part that you started with, it's going to kind of start to pop out a little bit. So that's why you want to keep it as flat. And you'll kind of notice even as you get to the end that you're almost rolling it at an angle. You see what I mean? You're almost rolling it at an angle here. But that's okay because you want to keep it as flat as you can. And you can make it tighter or loose or however you'd like. Okay, so I'm getting to the end here. And now you can see what it looks like from the side. Now I'm going to put it down. And now here's where I ended right here. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. And so now if it's too poofy in the middle, you can just kind of flatten it down a little bit. And then that'll make it all uniform. But you might like it puffy, it doesn't matter. And then at the very end where I stopped rolling, that's where I'm going to take my my fast grab glue, and I'm gonna put a little dot or two on there, and then just hold it there. This stuff really does grab fast. I really like that about it. Okay, and then voila, there's your flower. Is that not so cool? I mean, check that out. I mean, wouldn't this look so cool on a page or on a card? This one's a little big. I don't know if I would use this one on a card. Here, let's see if I can see how big it is across. Oh, if we measure it. It's about 2.5 inches across. See if you could see that. A little less, maybe like 2.25. So that's a good size flower made from that strip of felt. Okay, so now I have another piece here. And this piece I cut using the fringe scissors, but I cut it using the small edge of felt. So this piece is only about, I don't know, 8 or 9 inches long. But again, the same thing. I did the same thing with it. I used the red liner in the middle. I cut it so it had like a fringe, and then I just start rolling it. Okay, let me roll it this way so you could see. So as you can see, this was pink polka dot felt. And I'm rolling it, and I'm rolling it. It works really good when you roll it on the table. I feel like you have more control over keeping it even. Okay, we get to the end. I stand it up, and I'm gonna just kind of push down a little bit. Gonna get my fast grab glue. Put a couple dots on there. And hold it for a couple seconds. You can see how nice and flat and even it is. And then turn it over. You can kind of poof it out. And there we go. This worked out really cute because of the felt being white on one side and then pink and white polka dot on the other. That just looks really cool. It has like a really cool, almost like variegated pattern to it. And so this one is obviously a little bit smaller than the black and white one. You can see just by looking at the back of them, that one is smaller than the other. I didn't hold it long enough there. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then, like I said, you can also make them out of paper, which I've done this before. And you can see you get a different result from the paper because paper wants to crease. So you get more points to it than actual loops. It's still a cool effect. It still looks really neat, but I really love the loopy effect that you get from fabric and felt. And I'm going to show you one more that I already put on a scrapbook page. And this one is made from ribbon. And it was a fairly wide ribbon. I don't know, maybe it was like, I don't know, 2 inches wide or so. I'm not exactly sure. And but again, it was the same thing, the same technique. And at the bottom of this one, I didn't have fabric glue, so when I got to the end, I used a washi tape that I had that was a real thin washi tape. You know, it wasn't very wide, and so I wrapped it around the bottom for this ribbon one. And when you cut the ribbon, it automatically gives you these little like flyaway twiggy type things that are sticking out of it. You know, because the ribbon had frayed when I cut it. So that was actually very cool. I didn't expect it to do that, but after I was done with it, I thought, oh, that actually looks pretty neat. So, trying to give you a good view of what this flower looks like. And this one's pretty big too. But again, I put it in my scrapbook, and then, you know, it kind of gets like squished down. So it doesn't really take up that much space in my scrapbook. So there you go. I just showed you how to make some loopy flowers. It was really easy. You can do this, right? You can do this. This is still my favorite one. This is the first one I ever made, and I don't think I've ever made one that actually looks as good as this one. I don't know why. I don't know what exactly I did different, but that's my favorite one. And there you go. So the felt really gives it really cool look too. You know, this was that damask. This was polka dot. This was a red and white polka dot. This was just a solid color. So yay! These are 2 smaller ones. These were a little more loosely made. So I hope you enjoyed this quick clip. Maybe it wasn't as quick as I thought it would be, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see some loopy flowers popping up all over the place. Thanks, and thanks for stopping by.